welcome back. It is Survival of the Shittest with me, Stanley, the shittest, Wellman Williams. And I'm shit, so you don't have to be. Okay, so this week we are on to Saw 2. And as I mentioned in the first Saw video, this is the first Saw that I saw. So it's got a special fondness in my heart. But without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So the first trap that we see in Saw 2 is the head trap. So this has two sort of masks, one on the front, one on the back, with spikes protruding. After 60 seconds, they come together and impale your head. You get an x-ray that shows you that there's a cut under your eye and that the key to the contraption has been placed behind your eye. And you have 60 seconds to basically get out. You've got a scalpel. If you don't, it closes, kills you. So my plan of action for this one is relatively simple. Look around the area, see if there's anything that you can put that will hold the mask back when it pops, and then just pop out your eye. Again, I think I'm making this seem far too easy, but you have a scalpel. It's not like you have to do much surgery with it. If you just manage to sort of get behind and pop it out with a scalpel, and look, yeah, it's not going to be that simple, but you're in a dire situation. I think the joie de vivre will actually help you here. And also, if you don't have the time, you can get your hand sort of like that. I'm sure it will crush your elbow in your hand, but I think it will mean you survive. In terms of percentage of survival, I reckon I'm going to give myself a solid 65% here. So 6 out of 10 times I reckon I can either go through with popping my eye out and getting the key, or find something to prop it open and not die. Okay, so the first one was quite simple in terms of setup, but the next few are not going to be. And this is just because of the nature of the film. So in Saw 2, a group of people wake up in a house and are told that they've been poisoned and need to find the antidotes. So they're all sort of wandering around together, finding different traps. Traps are designed for certain people, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're the people who take part in the trap. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so with this one, the first of the house traps is the Magnum eye hole. Not so much a trap, but basically behind the key, well, behind the little eye hole, looking out the door, there is a Magnum pistol. If you put the key in the door and turn it, it pulls the trigger and shoots whoever's on the other side. A relatively simple one, and straight into the plan of action. Amanda wakes up in this room and says, "I've been part of these before. I know what's going on." And then they find something that says, "Don't use the key, you will get killed." And then two of them are like, "Nah, fuck you," and put the key in the door. One of them looks through the eye hole, gets shot through the head. My plan of action: anyone who's got more information on this than I do, which would be very little in this scenario, is going to be listened to. So I stay away from the door. Going to give myself a solid 95% chance on this one, just in case there's a ricochet and I get killed. Okay, so trap number 3 is the furnace. So there's a big furnace, surprisingly, and at the end of it you see 2 vials of antidote. And these vials of antidote look pretty simple to get. So you climb in, wriggle along, grab the antidotes, and as you pull them down, the door swings closed and flames burst up. So you're trapped in a furnace with fire. When you turn around, you can see that there's an off switch with a little devil next to it, which would have been easier to get to previously, but there you go. You need to crawl through the fire to get to this off switch. So my plan of action here is basically just be a little bit more careful than Obby is. He just climbs straight in, goes to the end, pulls it. Look, you've just seen someone be killed by a fucking Magnum. Maybe just take a little bit of time, maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds, just have a little bit of a look around in the furnace. Oh look, there's a little devil with a switch. I wonder if that's going to be useful. Maybe get 2 of you in there. All I'm saying is, this one is also survivable. The house traps more rely on the fact that a team of people are going to be stupider than one person alone, which is true. So I'm going to give myself let's go 30%, just because if something sets on fire, he is one of those ones that is a little bit more, when you're in it, you don't like it. Whereas I could say now, yeah, I'll just crawl through the fire, whatever. There we go. Okay, so the next trap is the needle pit. So this one is definitely up there with one of the worst traps in all of the Saw games, in my opinion. It's just gross, and just you see it and your body. Ugh. So basically, underneath a bed, they pull away the stuff, and there's just a pit of dirty and broken needles, which is intended for Xavier, but he just chucks Amanda in. In this pit, there is a needle with the antidote in, and a key to get, I think, to get an antidote. Either way, I should have checked, but it doesn't matter. You have to pour around in this needle pit of dirty, broken needles. So the plan of action here is, one, don't let Xavier chuck you in. That's fine. He's a big guy, but I'm slightly bigger than Amanda. I don't. If there's someone else in there with him who's smaller than me, he's going to pick on them anyway. And also, I'm going to fight back. Maybe I can't take him, but I'm not going into that needle pit. Then, on the off chance I have to, for whatever reason anyway, maybe I'm the only one in this game, in this scenario, I use the springs and the bed mattress stuff to sort of shovel from up the pit. If I get one of the bed bars, shovel up. And the chance of survival for this one, just because I don't like the trap so much, I'm going to give myself 6%, because I'm probably not getting in that pit. I'm definitely not doing it fast enough. And yeah, that's about it. Next we're on to the hand trap, which is the last of the house traps that I'm going to be covering. So there's there's one box with an antidote in it, and if you put your hand in, you go up and you push out some metal spikes, but pulling it back down, they're nestled against you, so you can't pull it out. So if you put both your hands in, you're trapped. You can't get out, and it just slices your wrists. The plan of action here, and this is from the Wikipedia page, so take it with a pinch of salt, but apparently there's some keys on top of the box which just open the box. Now, if you've been thinking about this trap for more than a second and just have a look around, it's arguably one of the easiest, top 5 easiest traps in Saw. Maybe that's a list. That's a list I'll do. But you put your hands up, can't get them out, or just have a little bit of a look around. Oh, there's a key. Open. Pull it open. Sorted. You got the antidote. And the antidote's the important thing. That means you won't die. So I'm going to give myself a solid 80% here, because I'll spend more than a second looking around. Okay, so the final test in Saw 2 is Eric's test, and Eric Matthews, across the films, as you'll see in later videos, gets a very, very raw deal on this fucking series. I mean, he is an absolute wanker, but I digress. So the trap is, you go in, Jigsaw says, "I've captured your son." He probably said, "I've captured your son. Would you like to play a game?" But the game is, sit there and listen to me for 3 hours and you'll get your son back. Seems simple enough. So the plan of action, and I've got some hindsight on this as I know the trap, but also just at this point in the Saw, people seem to know who Jigsaw is, so you kind of have an idea that these games are winnable, that he is tricking you, but he's not tricking you as well, if you know what I mean. The game is winnable, so I just sit there and listen to him go on for 3 hours. sure, it's going to be boring and he's a serial killer and I don't like it, but you know, you don't have to pay much attention. You just got to sit there and sort of listen to him. What I don't do, which is where it comes back in that Eric Matthews is a bit of a wanker. I don't beat the shit out of an old man with cancer, regardless of what he's done. Not regardless of what he's done in this scenario, because he's told me that if I wait, I'll get my son back. I don't go off. I don't leave. If there is a sort of thing going on where someone needs to leave, I don't do it myself. Sure, it's your son, but you've got to play by the rules, as we learned from Zep in Saw 1. So I get my son back, and also I got to give myself 100% chance of survival on this, because it's not a losable one. I mean, Eric does lose; he gets locked up in a bathroom, but I think we can safely say that this isn't the test that's going to kill you. So there we go. So then we have Saw 2. Pretty easy, if I'm honest with you. As far as surviving movies goes, that's got to be up there with one of the easier ones that I've done. But what do you think? Do you think I'm being way too confident? Do you think I'm not being confident enough? Maybe some of you think actually he's way better than that. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. We're either going to continue the MCU series next week, or maybe go off kilter, do a new movie. I watched Psycho Gorman the other day, which was really fun. Maybe we'll do the the hardest and the easiest Saw games. Who knows? But yeah, like I say, I hope you enjoyed this. As you might have been able to notice, I'm doing it a little bit faster, trying to be a little bit more, I don't know, blasé about it. I'm just trying to sort of get a handle on sort of what performs best, where we go, how we go ahead. So stay shit, y'all.